Alright, on today's video, we're getting this carburetor off, get it right. I got a rebuild kit from Amazon. It was a little cheap, hopefully it's fine. So, we're gonna get the fuel lines off. There's 4 nuts holding it on. The throttle's pretty much disconnected. There we go, it's disconnected. So let me get these 4 nuts off and we'll take it inside and see what the condition is. Alright, got the carburetor off. Let's take it inside and see what it looks like. This next day, I didn't get a chance to work on it yesterday, so do it today. Just gonna take it apart and see what the inside is looking like. Hopefully it's not too bad. Looks like there's a lot in the rebuild kit. I've never done a carburetor this complex, but it can't be that hard to find out. Figure it out. The biggest thing is the float check. Just sticks. Not closing all the way. You saw in the last video that was flooding out the carburetor. So I didn't see anything else leaking. I think I'm just gonna do the float, maybe a couple other things in here. And put it back on. I don't want to dive too deep into it. Bought the boat from an older gentleman. He was restoring it with his stepdad. Sadly, his stepdad passed away, and he let the boat sit for a couple of years before I bought it. And they were just a week away from finishing it before he passed away. But I think they did the seats on it. That's why they look brand new. I don't know if they recovered them or just bought some on Amazon, but they look good. Alright, so in here, I don't know if you can see, kind of crusty. It's not too terrible. I see some sand in the bottom of it. You go get some carburetor cleaner. This spring's corroded. Here's the float valve, or the float. Needles in there. Definitely gonna replace those. Yeah, so it came apart. It's supposed to be one piece, I think. The rubber doesn't feel too terrible. I could have just used a clean. But we have a new one, which can go. I really should put this in an ultrasonic cleaner. One of them tubs of carburetor acid. I don't feel like waiting for that long. So, I'm just gonna throw it together. Hope it works. Got a new float. Appears to be the same. Check balls and some springs. I'm not sure what they go to. And there's our new float needle seal. the whole seat too, which is nice. This is the biggest reason I take the carburetor apart, is because it was leaking fuel. Alright, I am going to go to the store, get some carburetor cleaner. I may get a tub of that acid, because this is kind of corroded, but I probably won't. I kind of just want to throw it back together. I mean, it ran, it works, so I might just do that float seal. I might dig into it a little further, but I don't know, we'll see. I'll be right back. I found some brake clean laying around. Some people say it's different. I don't care enough. Carburetor cleaner, brake cleaner, close enough. I pulled these jets out. They're looking a little corroded. I don't know if you can see that. So I think I am going to go get one of those tubs of carburetor acid, just because there's a bunch of little holes in here, and if they're clogged up, I know it won't run right. And I mean, it's only a 2-barrel anyway. It needs all the help it can get. Small engine. I don't know how far I need to go into this carburetor. I've never taken one of these apart. I don't think I'm that far from being ready to go. We take the choke assembly apart. Take the needle seat for the float valve. I don't think it came with a new spring. Let's see. It came with a spring. I don't know where it goes. Probably supposed to be for that. It might go there. I'll see if I can figure that out later. But for now, I'm just going to finish tearing this thing apart, get it ready for a carburetor bath. So, I'll get you. Alright, I know you may be wondering where all this other stuff is. Got a couple other projects. These are some heads off of a 383 running a Firebird. Needs the rotating assembly out of it. Can't see it, but I'm on a bench behind you. There's rotating assembly out of a 351 Ford, Fernota OPS Ford. Those will probably be in a future video. We'll see how that goes. But that's why it's all cluttered. I got multiple different projects going on. Those two projects aren't mine, but I'll help with them. There's even some corrosion above where the needle and seat go. So it's definitely getting the carburetor bath. No question about that. Alright. One of the choke plate screws has stripped out, so I'm just going to leave it in here. Hopefully it'll be fine. I don't think it'll affect anything if it just gets an acid bath. But as far as the top part goes, I'm not sure how this comes out, so I'm going to leave it in there. And hope it's fine. Looks like there's some trash up in here. I'm going to try and dig that out. But as far as the top part goes, there's a dirt dauber's nest in here. I'm not sure what that's for. I don't think the choke worked when I had it on the boat. So I think this might come off. I might take this off and see. I might just dig that nest down and see. Alright, we'll see. Just gotta finish up taking off the bottom part. Here's the middle section and then a bottom section. So I'm gonna separate these and see what happens. Alright, bottom plate looks pretty decent. There's a little bit of rust. Nothing I'm worried about. I'm gonna pull this jet out so it can be cleaned. If you pull the jet out, you always want to make sure you count how far it goes in first and then pull it out. So that way when you put it back in, you can put it all the way in and do the opposite count out with it. Alright, so when 2 turns in, now when I put it back in, I'll know to put it all the way down and go 2 turns out, and that should be about where it was. And as far as the bottom section goes, that's all I'm going to do. I feel like taking this all the way out. It'll be fine in an acid bath. Alright, now I just have this midsection to do. I think the kit came with all new gaskets. I'm saving these gaskets just in case. They're not in terrible condition. Somebody probably rebuilt this carburetor and then never used it. It's kind of what it's looking like. And as far as this middle section goes, I don't see a whole lot to take apart on it. So I'm gonna give it a good cleaning. Looks like there's like a jet in here or something. But I don't know how to get to it. I don't know how to take it out. There's a couple jets down in there. But they should clean themselves in the acid bath. If not, I can pull it apart after and clean them. It won't be that big of a problem. Spray that. Yeah, there's 2 jets down in there. I'll probably clean up nicely. Take the one of the bristles off a wire brush and run it through each jet to make sure they're clean. But like I said, this boat ran amazing in the last video, so I think everything will be fine. If it ran terribly, I would pull everything apart. But I don't know a whole lot about these carburetors. I don't want to take it apart and forget how to put it back together. So I will go to the parts store, grab a vat of acid, carburetor acid, and let this sit. Probably gonna let it sit overnight. We'll see. Those of you wondering, I didn't have a tripod in the last video, but I 3D printed this one since the last video. All of it's 3D printed, even the spring. So now I can make better quality videos. This is that 351 I was talking about, the parts for it. My friend Peter owns this motor. He'll be putting it in a truck of his. And then here's the 383. You remember Dom in the last video. This is his project, got aluminum heads. But he's blown this motor up twice now, so we'll see how the 3rd time goes. Okay, while the carburetor's soaking, I'm gonna do a couple things to the boat. I need to get this carpet out because fuel tank is under here, and I need to hook the fuel pump up to it and see if the fuel gauge works. I'm going to turn the key on. See the oil and temp sensor move. So I'm hoping the temperature sensor works, but I have went and bought this one. I'm going to use this to plug that hole where the water's coming out of. That way I got 2 temp sensors just to be on the safe side. Put the carburetor off of it. So it looks like there used to be a sensor there. That's where the water's coming from. I'm hoping this would just thread in there, and that'll solve that problem. I just have to deal with the one coming from underneath the exhaust. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook that up, and then I want to take care of this wiring. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Get some wire nuts here. I need to dig into that because I need to wire in the fuel pump to the key, and I need to get my blower motors working and see if that bilge pumps, see if it'll come on. Which is down underneath there. It does have the float switch, so if this thing gets too full, it should automatically kick on. Hope I don't have to replace them. We'll just see. So let me get to it. Alright, it appears I don't need the adapters. Here's the right brick. Wrapped up some Teflon. And install it and see what happens. So it appears the shaft is too long. It hits the internals of the block. So I'll have to find somewhere else to put this until I know if that one's good. Alright. So here's the original temp sensor. I'm going to take this bolt out and hopefully that one will fit in there. So this one bolt's being kind of a pain right now. It's brass. Everything I have is kind of just rounding off on it. So I bust out the little vice strips. It's coming slowly, for sure. Alright, I got it out. Let's see, one of these adapters should fit in here. A smaller adapter. Teflon it, put it in, put the temp sensor in, and I actually had to pull the old temp sensor out to get this one. So while I have it out, I'm just going to put a lighter to it and see if it works. So with the key on, put some heat to it, see if it comes up in temperature. And it does have to be grounded. You have to ground it against the engine block or another ground. And it is working. It got all the way up to 175. So that's nice. I'm still going to use the other one. I'm going to tie it in somewhere back here, so if I'm working on it, I'm going to watch the temperature. I don't have to keep looking forward. It's just another safety measure. I got it. Might as well use it. So that's good. I'm going to have to find a plug for that rear hole. I'm not sure what that was in there. I wonder if it's like one of the P holes that let you know the water system's working. Maybe the hose is just missing from it. But I'm just gonna plug it. I'll have to order some of those. So now that I got that, I'm gonna try and look into these blower motors, because you never want to run one of these without the blower motors. I don't know if you've seen videos online, they can explode from all the vapors in here. Blower motors just take all the vapors, the fuel vapors, and blows them out of here and right here. So Those are very important. Let's get them working. So it appears the blower motor is not hooked up. So I'm gonna have to get some wires or find the old ones and figure out where they go. Might be those two. I'll get back to you on this. Alright. Those wires are twisted together. Let's see what happens. Keys on, blower. So it screams at me. It sounds very unhappy. And it is not moving any air. Let me beat on it and see what happens. Well, it is not happy. But we're halfway working. It's blowing out. It's working now. Okay. Halfway works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It does blow though. So I'm probably gonna take it apart and clean it. Or I'll just replace it. I'll determine that when I take it out. That'll be a future video though. I don't feel like dealing with that today. I guess I'm gonna look into the bilge. See if we can get that working. You got this little switch down here. When the water level raises, pulls this up, turns the bilge on. And the bilge is currently on. But it's not working with the switch. So I'll need to figure that out. I mean, it's not a huge priority, but it would be nice in case this thing starts sinking. So I'm looking to my switch situation. It could just be a switch. Or maybe some of these wires. Whoever wired this thing, I'd rather you not wire anything else. But if it works, it works. So yeah, it's not on. Those wires come up here. It's just a mess of wiring on this thing. And these brown ones, they go up that way. I'm assuming this is just a ground. And it goes to the battery. Alright. So I gotta chase these brown wires. There's one back there. Run all the way along the side of this thing. Up there. Hopefully there's a brown wire coming out up there. So as you can see, it's a mess of wiring down here. But all these wires have a purpose. This is for the steering wheel. It operates the cables. There's that big one there. So this switch operates the bilge. This group of wires. And it looks like it might be unplugged. That might go to something else. These are usually either fuses or circuit breakers. I'll get me one of those. I don't know what this switch does yet. I'll figure that one out later. So, what is that? What does that operate? There's just a switch down here. I'll have to look at that when I'm not holding the camera. So, it's this one. The wire's coming out. Let's see, I'm gonna look into this and I'll get back to you. Well, that is a wiring nightmare that I don't feel like dealing with today. I don't have time to deal with that today. I'm gonna be running out of daylight here soon. I want to get this carpet up and have a look at this fuel system. Maybe I can get that done today. But I need to find a keyed voltage. I don't know if the engine's gonna have anything or if I'll just have to run one all the way up to the switch, because I don't want the fuel pump running 24/7, so I need an on and off switch to it. I had that red wire dangling, but that was kind of just temporary. Might run an on and off switch, might just put it to the key. I haven't decided yet. I gotta get all this stuff out of here and rip this carpet out. I would film that, but my tripod's gonna be in the way. I don't think it's tall enough to reach into here, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna tear this carpet out. So, when they glued this carpet down, they used some really strong adhesive. And it's pulling my fiberglass up, which isn't good. It's turning into a real pain. I might have to wait till somebody else gets home and they can help me cut while I pull. We'll see. Alright, so I can't get this carpet out. It's kind of being a pain. The glue, I can't get it up. I'm gonna have to rent a steamer or something to try and get it up. That's gonna be it for today's video. On the next video, I'm gonna try and put this thing in the water. I'll finish up the fuel system, some of the wiring. I probably won't worry about the bilge pump, but I'm gonna get her legal. I'm gonna service deliver it, and it sounds like it needs some fluid. Probably do an oil change to the filters, and we'll go from there. Hopefully next time we'll be on the water. Thanks for watching.